that nature's God gave us. Obviously very outlined in that book over there, the 5,000-year leap. Okay? It is clear. It is clear. In God we trust. Okay? We have stripped God out of everything federal government has, and yet when someone goes to a public high school and kills our children, we all of a sudden want to summons him and tell him now to come and meet us at the flagpole. God must clearly be confused. He must be confused. But God is steady. He's not zig and zag. He's the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. His truth is absolute truth. And this person, this man, has built his life upon that absolute truth. And I will never compromise that.
I have a question, statement for the first part. Is that about Obama and his election? People was looking for change, and even though they were searching, they were hearing about some of the problems that there was in his lifestyle. But in turn, they listened to the honey that came from his mouth. And it's just like whenever honey comes out of the fox's mouth, you've got it. The next thing is that people will listen, but we hope that in turn that we have a man up there in Washington that will not only listen, but do what the people really desire. And Medicare, have you read that law before you go back to Washington to repeat it?
Who is this to?
Peter Bond.
I'll take that first. Do you understand the question, Steve?
I think I understand. You're talking about believing Barack Obama and what comes out of his mouth, obviously. But he's like a house divided, and a house divided cannot stand. Barack Obama wants to be all things to all people, and you can never, ever. But if somebody says, I can be all things to all people, that is someone who will believe anything he hears, and he will stand for nothing. That is a man who doesn't believe in Judeo-Christian principles of absolute truth. He believes in secular humanism, relativism. We will make up the rules as we go along. The ends justifies the means. Okay? That is that kind of speak. When Barack Obama came on the TV, I instructed my family, turn your head. Don't watch. Listen. 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 The eyes are deceptive. Listen. Listen. And unfortunately, you hear very little substance. You hear very little substance. We like the way the dress looks. We like the sharpness. We like the smile. Don't look. Listen. 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 I think this year the American people are going to listen. Now the second part of this question
was, I believe, about
the health care bill.
Health care law.
Yeah, I have already signed a commitment with Club for Growth. That's an organization that many of you are familiar with. That I would do as your representative. I would move to repeal the bill. I would move. There is nothing in that Constitution that says that government can make you purchase anything. It is a violation of our constitutional rights. And that is the law of the land. And we must honor it. We must enforce it. So therefore, we've got to defund the bill. This year, when we take the House, we will defund the bill. We will not be hiring 17,000 new IRS workers. That will not occur on my watch. And then, sir, when we take the White House back in 2012, we then will move to repeal the bill.
Yeah, I don't really think we really need to comment too much about whether Barack Obama tells the truth or not. I think that's pretty self-evident. What we do need to look at, though, is this healthcare fiasco that we got ourselves into. You say we did it because we did allow it to happen. This is a simple thing for us. If we get enough conservatives in Congress, we can walk it right back through to where they put it in. And I think that's pretty important to do. And it's very important to do, and I'll tell you why. Because that's not going to get the job done. If we walked it right back through, send it to the president, what's he going to do? He's going to veto it. Okay, and I'm sure we're not going to have enough votes to override a veto. But that is what we want, folks. That's what we want. Then, what we do, and it's on my project first week again, I have a whole media list that I'm compiling. and it's going to go national. What we do now is, once we run this back through, give it to the president, he vetoes it, I hope, gives it back to us, then we take it to the people. And we tell the people, okay, look, we need two things in 2012. We can stop this nonsense for the next 2 years. Now we've got to check and balance back. But what we have to do is take it to the people and say, okay, look, we need two things. We need more constitutional conservatives in Congress, so we can push this bill right on through. We can override his veto if need be. But what we really need, number two, and we need both, is we need a president that won't do it to begin with. Okay, and taking it to the people is how it gets done. You have to involve the people, and that's what my whole run is about. We've got to get you people involved. And once you're involved, you'll never stand for this nonsense that's going on in Washington.
Earlier this year, Chris vetoed a bill on teachers paying cash to the children's grades. Where do each of you stand on that?
Yeah, I was a teacher for 3.5 years. I'll tell you where I stand on that. I think it's one of the things he finally did that was right. To tell you the truth, if that bill would have passed, you would have had, it would have been like a professional football team. I want this child, I want this child, I want that child, because they're going to perform. I don't want little Billy over there because he's slow. He's not going to get me my grades. No, that would have been a real big mistake. You can't tie it to something like that. I actually believe that he did the right thing there. And I said, and it kind of hurts me to say it, but he actually did. There are a lot of things that need to be done for teachers making a mistake. Like I said, I couldn't be a teacher. I couldn't afford it. But there's a lot of things that can be done, and I'm looking, there's a big bureaucracy in Washington, in my opinion, that needs to be eliminated under the Carter administration. It needs to go away. $68 billion last year, folks. We don't need to be spending that in Washington.
I disagree with the veto. And I'll tell you why I disagree with the veto. First of all, I have a real problem with education, and I do agree with what Paul said as far as the Department of Education. I think education should be pushed back to the states, and I think it should be pushed back to the counties. I think the counties of the 67 counties of Florida know best for its children. Okay? I do not think that the federal government or anyone that lives in the 3 counties that make up Washington, D.C. care in the least about your children in this community. I think that that department is bloated. And unfortunately, I think that the Department of Education, not just there, but in states around this nation, has been hijacked by the NEA. Okay? The teachers union, okay, I really, to be honest with you, I don't think they care about our children either. In my organization, we want to be an A organization. You cannot be an A organization with C players. You can't. You cannot ingest trash and not have a body that's anything other than trash. And I am blown away how the NEA, and they control the school districts and the school boards around this country, they would rather, like Barack Obama, close down successful charter schools in D.C., close them down, with poor children crying, with parents weeping, because their children were getting an education that was good, their children were learning, their children were pursuing their dreams. They would rather shut those down and hold on to a philosophy that, in my opinion, is corrupt and is evil. So therefore, what do we do? What do we do? The first responsibility for the progress of those children lie with the families, lie with the parents. Unfortunately, we have teachers that need to take back their profession. Take back your profession. But if you won't, if you refuse, then state governments around this country are going to have to revert to things that really should not be even done. Take back your profession.